Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hemingway Jones live show. So wonderful to see everyone here this evening as we kind of wrap up Thanksgiving week, which is pretty amazing for me. Lots of things going on. So I really want to welcome you all to our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling, and just about everything and anything that's going to keep you inspired. And boy, do we have a season coming up for you. I'm thinking in seasons now. I think we talked a little bit about this. And we're kind of wrapping up the autumn, early winter season with the holidays coming up, and then winter launches in probably early to mid-January. And we have so many exciting, interesting things for you. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Not the least of which is the new opening credits I just did. I'm really excited about those. I've been learning a lot about editing and I'm putting it to good use, hopefully. John Manuel, hello John, says, good evening HJ, 9,000 subscribers. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? 9,000 people on this journey with us, trying new things, new ideas, new perspectives on fountain pens, on journaling, on mental health, on living better, on culture, on so many different things. You start with the fountain pen and you can go anywhere and everywhere, and we do. So it makes this interesting. I think we're unaffiliated. We're not a pen store. I'm not here selling you pens. Sometimes I'm telling you not to buy pens, and sometimes I'm celebrating with you when you do buy a pen, or when I do, because I buy pens too. Most recently, the last pen purchase I made was the Magna Carta Mag 600, and I adore that pen. I'm having a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun with that pen. Barely have put it down since I got it. Although I did put it down today to use the Mont Blanc 146 with the calligraphy nib, which I brought to my office today. And boy, that's a really nice writing experience as well. Very different from the Mag 600. We compared the Mag 600 to a Waterman 5. Might there be a video where we compare it to the 146? I could see that happening. So stay tuned for that. I see a lot of likes. Thank you all for the likes. I appreciate that. It's a big help to keep the algorithm happy. Right? Always fun. So very good stuff. So I will say, if you've been following along on the channel and you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it. I would just love to have you with us as we make our way through and we discover new countries, new ideas, new emotional landscapes, new perspectives on journaling, on fountain pens. I like to think we have a slightly different perspective. I definitely try to keep away from cliches. I try to take a cliche and rework it until it's something original. Promise I won't bore you. So I'd love to get to 10,000. I think 10,000 feels like a big deal to me. So if you're thinking of subscribing, just hit the button. I promise I won't spam you. I won't do that. So, it looks like Scott Lasky has bought the Mag 600 and waiting for it to arrive. So I'm glad Scott's here because I want to single him out, because you folks might not know this, but Scott Lasky's a bit of a madman. He is. He really is. And you'll see why in a minute. So he does word finds. And this one has a bunch of fountain pen retailers hidden in here. And you have to find them, which is very exciting. Now, why do I affectionately call him a madman? Because he does this by hand. He did this by hand. Isn't that amazing? I'm just so impressed with that. So he's very neat and very systematic, and he does a brilliant job with these. And evidently his next one is on Hemingway Jones sayings and phrases, which I'm really excited because I have no self-awareness. as you guys know. It's totally ridiculous, right? But I'm curious which of my phrases and my peculiar manners of speech he will single out for his next word find, which I love stuff like that. I get a kick out of that. So I am really excited for that. And I should mention what the show's about. I would love to segue into something else I'm going to speak of, but let me just give you an idea what we're going to talk about tonight in the time we have together. So first of all, I'd like to talk a little bit about just enjoying your pens and really getting to know them and spending time with them before you jump off and buy something else. So sort of pacing yourself. I think it's kind of an important message right now as we get into that season of abundance. When we're buying a lot of pens for people, probably getting a lot of pens. So super fun. I have no problem with any of that. There were some great sales. If you follow me on Instagram, I like to sometimes highlight the better sales or the better items I see. I'm always keeping an eye out in the different stores. Peyton Street Pens, where I buy a lot of my vintage pens. I like to put stuff up that I would buy, so you buy it and I don't buy it. It's my way of saving money. But I want someone good, somebody I know, somebody connected to the channel to enjoy it. So I'm really excited about that. So that's super fun. So we're going to talk a little bit about pacing ourselves and kind of I don't want to say a pitfall of collecting, but certainly an element to collecting. We're all collectors, aren't we? Even if you have 5 pens, it's a collection. Although we talked about that once, didn't we? How many pens makes a collection? I should make a video on that. How many pens make a collection? I think if you have 1 pen, and I'm talking about fountain pen, because that's a pen with intent, right? You have 1. It's not really a collection. That's your pen. You can have 1. That can be your signature pen. There were times in my life I had 1. But how many makes a collection? I think it's more than 3. That's where I put it. More than 3 makes a collection. So we're going to talk about that. I want to do a little bit of a gift guide. Some fountain pen related gifts, some stuff, some pens, all under, is everything under $100? Yes, everything is under $100. So some of these make nice stocking stuffers and just little surprises as you're unwrapping your gifts this holiday season. Whatever you celebrate, it's all good. So I'm kind of psyched to do that. That's always fun. We'll do that too. We're trying to fit a lot in here. I also want to mark 1 year anniversary of members. Some more people hit. I know I might be repeating myself from last time. In fact, I know with some of these I am, but I don't mind because I appreciate the members. Thank you guys. Thank you. You support the channel. Without members, I'm gone. Without members, I'm doing something else. Like the members keep me inspired. They keep me motivated. They help pay for the channel. They're just fantastic. And we have a lot of fun. We do blooper reels. We do a letter exchange. Good stuff. So here's who I'd like to mark their 1 year anniversary. So Patrick Blindeman, Judy Anderson, Wolf Kate Witch. Wolf Kate Witch gave me a Jinhao 9019. That's this week's video. Will be a review of the Jinhao 9019, which my wife in Cool or Not Cool Part 2 said it was like a boss bitch pen. I think that's how she put it. Pardon the colorful language, but she says like that's her pen that she would like get things done with. So you get my review this Thursday at noon. So look for that. Jinhao. It's called Jinhao. Epic Fail or Triumph. Which is it? We'll find out on Thursday. I don't have good luck with Jinhao. And Wolf Kate Witch actually knows that. So she sent a bunch of Jinhao pens over to me to make sure that I got some good ones. So it should be a fantastic video. All right, John Manuel, Gino Pagnani, Phil Munson, James Fahey, Nancy Layton, Benjo Marklin, who fixed my Watchman 52.5. Thank you. Jim Kerrigan, Scott Lasky, the madman with the word finder, love it. Marco Bernardini, and Simon Koopa, all 12-monthers. Thank you guys. You have my deep, deep, deep appreciation. Thank you. The lights are on because of them. Couldn't pay the electric bill without those guys, so thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I want to tell you a couple of things before we get to the main topic. A couple of general things. One, Clairefontaine paper of a particular type. I'm going to show you this right here. I'm not sure what the name of the paper is. I think it might be called, like a terrible eyesight, paper veloute. All right. So it's this. I use this when I practice my handwriting. I'm going to use it more because I need to practice my handwriting more. You've probably seen this in some of my videos. We're also going to do a lot more videos on handwriting. I want to do one that shows my progress of where I started and where I am now. I'm getting there, guys. Look at that. I'm proud of myself. I'm getting there. All right. But what's my point? I do have a point. This paper is kind of crazy because I used my Waterman 5 and I wrote a phrase I'm going to show you now. I wrote this. And then I put a time lapse on it. And when I did, I put my watch next to it. So you know I wasn't cheating or doing any shenanigans. Although I hope you guys trust me. So I left this on a tripod with my watch and a time lapse. And I'm going to show this video on TikTok. And I'll put it up as a YouTube short. And I'm going to put it over on Instagram. So I'll post it everywhere in a couple days. Maybe tomorrow, but soon, very soon. So yes, the French roll paper, Miss Marilyn Darling saying, indeed. So how long do you think, how much time went by when I put my finger across it and was able to easily smear it? How much time? Anybody in the comments? With how much time you think it took for me to leave this and come back? Yep. Arthur says it's coated paper. It is indeed. But how coated is it? John Manuel says 5 minutes. John, it's longer than 5 minutes. Anyone else? 35 seconds. I'm just going to throw these up. 5 minutes. Come on, guys. Give me more. Don't make it boring for the audience. Give me a lot. 160. What's 160 seconds, Rob McGuire? Nobody counts at 160 seconds. That's awesome. 45 seconds. Now, come on. Why would I put it on time lapse? Wolf Kate Witch. 10 minutes. You guys are so off. Oh, Matthew Nevins. You're bold. Matthew Nevins says 8 hours. It wasn't quite that long. I got bored before it happened. But okay, let me tell you. 2 hours. 2 hours. It was 2 hours and I was bored. I gave up. I had it set up, time-lapse photography, with my Rolex ticking away underneath it for 2 hours when I got bored and said, well, I'm just going to do it. And I smeared it with my finger. I just ran it across and it's still, so I gave up after 2 hours. The paper is good for writing, but it takes too long to dry. Now, granted, the Waterman 5 puts down a lot of ink. So does the Mag 600, by the way. But I noticed it the other day because I had written in it this, and I was very proud of it. And then I touched it. And I touched it like 2 hours later. And I said, there's no way that could still be wet. And it was. It was still wet. So then I did a little experiment. And I got bored after 2 hours. So it's some crazy paper, folks. So look for that video soon. So you know I'm not making it up. What is the ink? Very good question, Blith. What's the ink? That's essential information. It's Gerbon Eclat de Saphir. So, not exactly, well, it's pretty wet ink, but not the wettest. Certainly not a slow drying ink. Not usually. When I write a letter or something, it's usually dry in a couple of minutes, but not this time. So it was pretty amazing. Yeah, 2 hours. John Manuel's interesting point. It would be hard for students to take notes in that notebook. Their notes would be smeared every time they turn the page. Exactly. It was even 2 hours under a light. So that's the funny part. So pretty fun stuff there. Okay. I guess we'll talk about our main topic. How we doing for time? Got plenty of time. Whoa, but before I do, I'm going to take a drink. Excuse me. Try to save my voice. But I must recognize one of the superstar members of the channel, the mighty Mr. Lad Gardner, who just gave $25 super chat. A diaper for the Waterman 5. Fantastic. Absolutely. Thank you, Laddie. As always, your support, it just gets me every time. Thank you. Thanks for everything you do for this channel. It's huge. Huge. Very, very huge. So thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So what can I tell you? Should I get right into the main topic, and then I'm going to tell you another story? Because all kinds of stuff going on. Always. But I did want to talk a little bit about pacing ourselves with our pens and the kind of benefit of spending serious time with your fountain pens. Because I think I'm definitely projecting a little bit. I often feel guilty when I get great pens and I write with them for a while and then I get sidetracked. I get on to the next one. Now, it's very much a function of having a YouTube channel too, because there are things I need to do, I need to review. As it is now, I got such great stuff to show you guys. I have some Jinhao pens here, Hongdian pens. I have Scrivener pens. I have a Tom Studio pen I am so excited about that I already have the title for the video. I can't wait to share that with you. So I need to film all these and get them up and show them to you, but it sometimes detracts me from enjoying certain pens the way I would like to. So my strategy generally is that I get a pen and then I usually kind of film an unboxing or an inking or whatever it needs for a video. And then I like to use it for a while. I don't like to just fill it up and then do a review. It's too soon. So I like to use it for a week, 2 weeks, or sometimes I do first impressions and then check back in. So those are kind of my two strategies. But there's usually a pen in the background. There's that one that I can't let go of, like my Mag 600 right now. That's the one that's in the background that I can reach for. It's usually around me. And even though I'm test driving some other fountain pens, the Mag 600's close, or my Egyptomania is probably the one that's almost always close the most over the last year. If I were looking at the days and if I were to write in which pen I used every day, it would mostly be the Egyptomania. And then other pens come and displace it and all that. But there is this sort of profound connection you can develop with a fountain pen. And I think you've heard me speak about this with a pen like the Mont Blanc 149. That was the pen that I used almost exclusively for a number of years. I had a decent sized fountain pen collection. I got a little frustrated with it and I gave most of it away. And I kept some key pens, and I'm really glad I did. I might do a video one day on the ones I kept, but I'll tell you some of them. The Schaefer Legacy, the Diablo by Cartier. That thing is awesome. Chinese lacquer, so good. I need to do something on that soon. The Cross Apogee is another one. So those are the ones I kept. I gave away a Conklin Mark Twain. I gave away a Pelican Blue Ocean. I gave away so many pens. I'm trying to remember some of the names of the other ones. I just can't. But it was quite a few. And I just used the Mont Blanc 149 for years. And then I would occasionally ink up like the Schaefer Legacy or one of the other ones. But by and large, I stuck with that Mont Blanc. And then, of course, I got curious. I'm a curious guy. You guys know that. I make videos for curious people. So I started to be really curious about other pens, about flex nibs, all these things. And then I started to explore. But in that time, I really got close to that Mont Blanc. Not the least of which because I was taking it on a lot of different adventures. It was going to Venice with me. It was with me when my daughter was born. It was with me in some of my big career moments. I signed for both of my mortgages when I bought my house, when I refinanced at, very low interest rate with my 149. It was just always there, and it's still often always there. I've actually been digging the 146 a little more because I'm going away from fatter pens into more elegant ones, but just having that rich experience time with that. LAJ says, don't tell us which ones you gave away. That will make me sad. Too late. Sorry. But it's okay. I gave them to a dear friend who does a lot for me, my attorney. So although he ran over the Blue Ocean with his car, that was terrible. Terrible, I tell you. So I just think that if you spend a lot of time with your pen, like the Diplomat Aero or the Mont Blanc 149 or TWSBI Eco, you get to know it. You get to know its peculiarities. You get to really figure out how the nib writes, the different ways you can use micro pressure to go fat and thin, the balance, which inks interact best with it. Some pens don't do well with other inks. I've noticed the Egyptomania doesn't like drier inks. It doesn't write as well. It's not as enjoyable. But you put something like a Clay de Saphir in it and it just comes alive. It comes alive. One of the inks it doesn't like is its own Egyptian blue from Mont Blanc. I didn't think it wrote that well with it. So I just feel like it's kind of nice to really spend time with it, to just enjoy it. And I also think there's a certain freedom to having one pen, because you almost have this embarrassment of choices with your fountain pens, right? I know some of you have 300 or more fountain pens. I have somewhere around 100 myself right now. Sometimes, if you're like me, I might look at myself and say, well, I'm wearing a black long sleeve polo shirt. Who am I today? Which fountain pen? Actually, on first blush, if I was going to match a fountain pen with this shirt, it would be my Schaefer Legacy. Shiny chrome, black grip, inlaid, diamond shape, white gold nib. Perfect. So choice. But if you're using the same pen every day, that question goes away. It's sort of the reason why Steve Jobs wore the same jeans and the turtleneck every day. It was his uniform. And he didn't have to think about that to distract him from other things. A lot of guys wear one watch. I mostly wear this watch. I have a collection of watches, but I mostly wear this. It's perfect for me and I enjoy it and I like it. And it's just kind of easy to just reach for it. And if I'm not wearing this, I'm wearing my Cartier Tank because it's different. It's dressy. So imagine having two fountain pens. I would respect that. Really respect that. Or people that have 3 or 4 or 5, I really respect that because it's lean and there's something freeing about not having so many possessions that you need to maintain and attend to, because fountain pens are a bit like typewriters. I have a collection of typewriters. I think I have around 15 or 16 of them. They're a lot of work. You have to maintain your fleet. You'll always have to have ribbons on hand. If you don't type with one for a while, they dry out. Well, it's similar with fountain pens. My fountain pens get abused because I'm always filming with them. So a big majority of my 100 pens, I would probably say somewhere around 60 of my pens are inked at any one time because I'm filming with them and I'm trying to dip now, but it doesn't work for most filming. If you're talking about writing, if you're talking about aesthetics, you can dip. If you just need to show a line or something, but with writing, you need it filled. And I have so many of my pens filled. You get things like bladders that dissolve in vintage pens. You can get pens that leak. My Watchman Quran was leaking because the converter had worn out just from being pushed in and out for almost 15, 16, however many years I've had it. Long time. It just kind of wore down and wasn't sealing properly. So I got a different one. You know what? I stand corrected. It wasn't my Waterman. It was my Cross. It was my Cross Apogee. Sorry about that. And I had trouble finding a converter to fit it, but I did find the original one, so I was good. But see, these are the kind of things, as you have a large collection, you confuse them. You think a Quran is an apogee in your imagination, so you have to keep things organized and you have to keep things maintained. Ali J, I would love a video of those typewriters. Yeah, I've done typewriter videos, but nobody watches them, so I stopped. I try to give you guys what you like, and my typewriter videos just didn't get hardly any views. It made me sad because I like them. But maybe if I did all the collections, or maybe if I did one on integrating with fountain pens, I don't know. It has to be on theme, but I would like to do more. I would definitely like to do more. So I just think it's nice to have a few pens. I also think that when you have one pen around you, you also kind of, you develop a routine with it. You know how to enjoy it. You know how to fill it. You know how to carry it. You know its strengths and weaknesses. You just really get a nice experience with it. Shaq MD with the $20 super sticker, as we say in here in Massachusetts, super sticker. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's very nice. I really appreciate it, my friend. Shaq's channel, go check him out. He's on YouTube as well. Shaq has the best handwriting of anyone. Nearly anyone I know. I don't know if I know anyone who has nicer handwriting than Shaq. But very nice YouTube channel. So check him out. Plus, he's a very generous guy. And I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Shaq. You're the best. So I think as we go into Christmas and we're all looking at getting some Grail pens, maybe some of us are, right? Are we thinking about Grail pens? I certainly did last Christmas. I got the Visconti Homo Sapiens last year. For my birthday, I got the Kaweco Bronze. This year, I've picked up pens like the Omaso Jiva, the Aurora Optima, the Lamy 2000. Thank you, Brendan Schmidt of Atlas Stationers. I'll never forget that. It's such a lovely thing. The Esterbrook SD Raven. Thank you, Brian Holson from Esterbrook. Love you. Appreciate that. Shaq MD says he loves the show. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate you contributing too. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I think that it's great getting Grail pens, but I think if you do get one, you get a new one, live with it for a while. Just live with, like, I intentionally didn't ask for a fountain pen for Christmas this year from my wife. Usually I get something and something big ticket. But this year I didn't. Now there's a bunch of reasons for that. One is that I've bought a lot of other stuff. We just bought matching wedding bands for our 10th anniversary. We were up in Quebec together. And I just bought a Jeep Grand Cherokee yesterday. So I just kind of felt like I've bought enough stuff. I don't need any more stuff. My Jeep was knocking on 150,000 miles, and it had a list of things I needed to do. And of course, I was worried about driving with my daughter in the car. So I'm like, I gotta upgrade. So I did. I took the plunge. It was crazy because I hate buying cars, but had to do it. I see Claire Coco's here. Hi, Claire. Nice to see you. Always a pleasure. So, I think it's just as you get it, just enjoy it. Just really luxuriate in the time that you spend with your pens. Get to know them, have a fantastic experience, and enjoy them. I think sometimes we all get in this, we all. When I say we all, don't feel like I'm saying you. I'm really saying me. I'm projecting. When I get in this, you get into this like feeding frenzy where it's not which pen you have. It's which pen you could have or which pen you'll have next. Sort of like when I'm watching television. Before I watch anything on television, I go to all the different stream channels and I check to see if anything new was added. Nothing new's ever added. But it's not about what I'm watching. It's about what else I could be watching. And it psychologically, it's not the best posture to be in. But I don't know, some pens just really, really latch on. And I think it's such a wonderful experience having these things and writing with them that I think this year as we go into the holidays, just consider that. That's all. Just enjoy it and get a good deal. Get a good deal on your pens. Something to think about in this season of gift giving and gift getting. I like giving gifts better than receiving them. I love buying like my wife stuff, but I'm awkward receiving. I always feel a little funny. I don't know why. But I've asked for this really nice sweater from Arthur Beale with a big collar, and it has sleeves that roll down and go around your hands. It's got like a little thumb. So it's basically an expedition sweater like you would wear to Antarctic. And it has a matching beanie that goes with it. It looks so cozy and so nice. And it's not very expensive. And I just want that. That's what I want for Christmas. I want to lie low. And then make sure my daughter has a magical Christmas. So, anyway. Puppet Access says, hey now, it's a Jeep thing. You know, it is. I've been driving Jeeps since 1993, and I don't think I would buy any other car. I'm just a Jeep person, unless they ever made a bad product. But I've had extraordinary good luck with them. I could have kept the one I had, but it was getting old, and I probably would have had to put maybe $4,000 or $5,000 into it. And it just didn't seem too wise. And it was also right at the cusp of getting a decent trade-in and getting like scrap value for it. And my new one is really pretty. I've only had it a day. I drove it for the first time last night. So it's very, very new. But it's really amazing. It's got great lines and it's very tight in the front end. And it's just perfect for me because I don't really love the idea of cars, and I've never been overly impressed with people with expensive cars, especially as a banker. As a banker, you really pull back the curtain on a lot of people's lives. A lot of the people that when I was younger, I may have said, wow, that person has a Ferrari. I wish I could be like that. Well, now I see a lot of people's $3,800 a month payment for a car like that on a, personal financial statement or something. Can you imagine? I don't know. To me, I don't think I'd ever make enough money where that would make sense for me. But a nice Jeep is perfect. I just love them. I don't know. That's me. That is me. Claire Coco says, thanks, Tim. You're so right about the pens. I'm a little overwhelmed right now. Plus, I'm not alone in collecting. We are givers and yes, hard to receive. Yeah, truly, right? But it's so wonderful to have a collection too. It's almost like having a library, like having all these books behind me. And if I need something, I can reach for it. A pen collection's like that. It's like a pen library. And if you want a certain experience, you can reach for it. So I see the appeal either way, but I just feel like if we're always buying new things, you just don't get a chance to really luxuriate in the things you have. So, Sunny Tracy Witt says, oh, actually, I put it down below where I can see it. Oh, wow, that sweater sounds brilliant. Thanks. Yeah, I'll try to remember to put it in the description if you guys want to find it. But it's Arthur Beale and their expedition sweaters, and they're really, really beautiful. So I'm really excited about that. I'm a sweater guy. Wait until you see the Quebec City B-roll. It's coming up on a video that I've already edited. It's already scheduled for early January, and it's how to use journaling to help with seasonal depression. That's it in a nutshell. So I think you guys are really going to like that one. And it has some epic B-roll. And then I think I'm probably also going to recut it as some kind of travel video too and put that out counter programming. Eric Linneman, my wish is that Bottega Obscura restocks his store. Yeah, that would be great. He's an artist, and you can't push that guy. He does it when he's inspired, and he does amazing work, and I'm sure he will. Email him those. Sometimes if you contact him, you can prod him a little bit to make something for you. But he is such a lovely guy. He makes such a great product. You guys know how much I love my Bottega Obscura. My Bottega Obscura journals. I love them. They're the old journals you see. Enzio Alexandra Andreju. I'm happy I never owned a car and never needed one. And Enzio, you should be happy about that. America's not that way. I don't know if you live in the U.S. and maybe if you live in New York City, you could get by without having a car. But here in Massachusetts, you'd be dead in the water without a car. And it's a shame we made a country like that. We could have done anything, and we made a country where you need a car just to get milk. So it's kind of rough in America not having a car. You really need one. So we're a car people, we Americans. We few, well, we many. Okay. Avec Poésie, my friend. I adore your B-rolls. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think you're really going to like the Quebec City one. I do. So yeah, a lot of exciting things. A new car is exciting. Everyone's happy for me, and I'm kind of miserable. Because I just don't like spending money. I don't. But you have to. And I have to make sure that Imogen's safe. That's the main thing. Okay. We're doing good. This hour's flying by. Having a great time. Al's Wentmouth. Are there any stationary spots in Quebec City? There must be. I didn't really see any. I did find an amazing French bookshop that had a few journals and things, but not very many. So probably if I had looked really intensely, but certainly in the old city, nothing really leaped out at me. Now, Quebec City itself is gigantic, so I'm sure there's something there. But I stayed in Old City, and I really stayed very close to Chateau Frontenac because I was having some physical issues, so my range was limited. Not now. Now I'm back in fighting shape. But there was that, so... I do want to tell you one more story before we get to the gift guide. I just had such a great troll in my comments today, and I just really wanted to share it with you. Because there are people that criticize, and there's some criticisms valid. I had someone say something along the lines of that my intro to my video was too long. And this was on the Pilot Custom 823 video on how it's the perfect pen. I didn't go back and watch it. Like sometimes people criticize stuff and then I get curious and I watch my own video, but I didn't. But I do remember that back in the earlier days on my channel, I used to do so much before I got to the meat of the matter. I would introduce my video, and then I had a minute-long opening credits like I do at the beginning of this show, which is me getting ready. It helps me here. But there's no real purpose for a minute long intro, but there it was. It was nice. That's why I use it. I liked it. And then it would end. I would do a pen check. And sometimes that took a minute and a half. And then I would reintroduce the video and then start the video. So sometimes you were 3 minutes in before it started. So that's valid. Some of those videos still did really well, but it's funny that way. So I can take that kind of criticism. But you got to hear this one. You have to hear this. This is probably the best troll comment. And I wish they had their name here. But it's always the anonymous accounts. But I'm going to tell you their anonymous account. So it's user-WD1BQ4XT8W. I wish I knew who you were. I don't know anything about you, but I just love this comment. So brace yourselves. And what makes you an expert on fountain pens? Sorry. And what makes you an expert on fountain pens? Too many clowns setting themselves up as experts. To each his own. I have used and collected fountain pens since I was 12. And I'm about to turn 78. I believe that's 66 years. Gratuitous advice I don't need. And by the way, this was on the 5 huge mistakes, or how to avoid the 5 mistakes when buying a fountain pen. One of my most gentlest videos I've ever produced, where I'm saying, these are 5 mistakes I've done. Maybe you can avoid them. Something, you've guys seen it. You know what I'm talking about. So, what makes you an expert on fountain pens? Actually, I studied for 4 years at the London School of Fountain Pen Technology. I have been a fountain pen appraiser for 35 years, and I think that makes me qualified. So, it's just so funny. So anyway, I wrote back, and I shouldn't do this. You guys, some of the beloved people and the members tell me don't respond, but I'm from Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a city. We booed Santa Claus. When Santa Claus came to Veterans Stadium in the middle of a Philadelphia Eagles game, he was booed off the field. There was a full-time magistrate on the premises at Lincoln Field and at the old vet. If you got in a fight, you were taken to the judge immediately. That's Philadelphia. That's in my bones. I have a veneer of sophistication. If it gets ruptured, I get, my blood gets up. So I try to keep it in control. I'm going to interrupt this for Lad Gardner. Hemingway, I know this guy. He and his brother in the balcony of the Muppet Show. Yeah, it's just so funny. So I wrote back, try working on your personality instead of your fountain pen hobby. Anyone who would be so deeply affected by this innocuous video has some serious issues. So I just got a kick out of that. I hope you did. Because it's comical. You want to see my car? I got a picture of it. Very carefully. There it is. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Yeah, look at that, right? I'm digging it. In the Whole Foods parking lot. And just to show you, this is the comment. So it's real. So super fun. Super funny. So we do it all on this channel. We have comedy. We have drama. We have suspense. We cover a lot of bases. Pat says, sometimes you need to respond. I hear you, Pat, but I think if I were bigger, I would just say, thanks for watching. I do say that a lot, and I probably should say that more. But occasionally, it's like, I never claimed to be an expert at anything. I am, but I never claimed it. LEJ, ooh, shiny. You know one thing about a new car? The windshield is never as clean. It will never be as clean again as it is now. Now it's like you look out at the world and it's just there. I can put my hand through it. It'll never be like that again. But I'm trying to enjoy it. Arthur, my friend. I like when people buy cars that are not black, gray, or white. I'm really glad you brought that up. Although I will say my Wrangler is white. So there is that. But when I went to get the car, it was the funniest thing. And you can check on the Jeep website yourself to this. It was really funny. So the guy says, which color would you like? To which I said, what colors do you have? And he says, well, we have white. And I'm like, well, white would be cool because I already have white and we'd look like a little club. Like we're a little like gang, white Jeeps, my wife and me. This is where it gets funny though. And he says, well, we have black and then we have black where if the light shines on it, it looks blue. And we have black, if the light shines on it, it looks green. And then we have silver and then we have dark gray. And then we have red. I was like, show me the red. So it's just really funny. So they basically had 3 different kinds of black, gray. So everything was on the white to black scale. And then there was red. So I really like the red. Yeah, Miss Marilyn Darling. I don't know if that works for me. I'll be honest. But it's a good line. Yeah. It's definitely a good it's a good line. Okay, how are we doing with time? Oh boy, time is going fast. So we need to get into our buyer's guide here, right? I just thought it would be really nice, really advantageous for all of you if I just did a quick buyer's guide for the holidays. Perfect stocking stuffers. Perfect inexpensive pens beneath $100. Just fun things that you can give some other fountain pen fan or maybe ask for yourself. So let's take a look at some of these. Shall we? I think we should. Okay. So the first thing, and maybe obviously, is the Pilot Kakuno. A beautiful $10 pen with an anthropomorphic nib with a gorgeous smiley face. It's like carrying a friend around with you. It's a charming pen. It writes incredibly. It's super fun. It's just warm, happy, a little twee, a little Wes Andersonian, and just makes a perfect stocking stuffer. Or just perfect under the tree. Just an absolutely brilliant pen. So I like this one. And I would also offer as an alternative, not as warm, but another great entry-level pen with the Platinum Preppy. I do like that it tells you your nib width right on it. Fantastic writer, very light. Sort of reminds me of the Varsity a little. Very pretty nib. Boy, Platinum nibs are really amazing. So, fantastic pen. Can be eye dropped. This one is not. But highly recommend it. A great pen to just surprise someone with or to pen someone. If you think someone should get started in fountain pens, just pen them. Just give it to them. It's that good of a pen. So I think that is a great option. Another great sort of, I'll call these sort of adjacent to fountain pen gifts. This is from Esterbrook. And this one I really haven't used very often, but I like it. Because I'm going to show you the other one that I use all the time. And of course, it's a fountain pen nib book holder. And it seems like one of those things that's not something you might use very regularly. But I'll tell you, I use this a lot when I film. And I use it when I'm reading with my cat on my lap. Because my cat likes to sit on my lap when I'm wearing jeans. And then I can't turn the page because she's on my arm too. So I use this one quite a bit. This is the B version. And this one is super, super charming. I love the look of this. I love the aesthetics of it. I like that it's bigger. I feel like this one works even better. And this is about $40, I believe, on Esterbrook's site. Very nice gift for someone or something to ask for yourself. Just a lovely, lovely thing. I need to interrupt the proceedings because the mighty Kurt Geisinger was kind enough to donate to the channel $10. Thank you very much. Microfiber towel for the windshield. That is a great idea. Thanks so much, my friend. I really appreciate it. You keep the lights on. All the members do. You guys do so much for the channel. I appreciate it. Hopefully you saw the Thanksgiving video that I put out about fountain pens I'm grateful for, the people I'm grateful for. That video actually did really well, and it was just nice to share that with you guys. You're going to see a little more of that too, a little more personality in my videos going forward, because I don't have enough personality as it is. You need more. You need more of this, I think. Okay, here's another wonderful gift idea, and this is the to-go cup from Esterbrook, and it's great. It holds a bunch of pens. You can loosen it, and then you can roll it down and get access to your pens. They all fit in there. And you can just cinch it and then take it away with you. This one's made out of like nice denim material. It's got a nice patch. I really like this thing. Brian Holzer, he sent this to me, which is very nice. And I use it a lot when I want to like grab a bunch of pens and take them with me if I'm filming around the house. Or I usually use my Galen leather bag, but it's also great for travel. So just a really nice, fun gift for anybody, I think, that's into it. Now, here's another gift I think that is really good for us, the real fountain pen aficionados. And that's these Mont Blanc inks. And the reason is these are really good, and they have really good themes, but some of these are deathly expensive. So, I don't know how much you like to spend for your ink, but some of these Mont Blanc inks can go anywhere from $35 up to like $80. And you wouldn't perhaps buy that for yourself, but boy, does it make a fantastic gift. Just so great. So I think that is a great option for someone. Not too expensive as a gift, but if you do want to keep it down, Gerban. Fuchsia de Magellan. Love it. Tiny bottle. It's like a little, this is like a little, the kind of medicine bottle that they had back in the 50s. And then the Grillage. This is a beautiful, this is a great gift bottle because it's so pretty. Look how nice that shows. It's a fantastic gift for someone or yourself. So I think these are really fun too. These are much less expensive, but very nice inks. Gerban, always fantastic. Always a fun gift. And while we're on Gerban, let's also mention these incredible sealing waxes. Now, this one's a little beat up because I use these. These are the ones I'm using. And I'm a bit of a maniac when I'm opening stuff. I just rip right through it. But if you get a letter from me, often it has a wax seal. There's no wax seal as good as Gerban wax seal. This stuff is the best. And it's a fantastic gift. It's not very expensive. I believe these are under $20. You get so much enjoyment out of these. They're beautiful. They smell good. Especially this red one and this gold one. They smell kind of spicy. They're just fantastic gifts. So I would be delighted if somebody bought me that for Christmas. So some other pens. TWSBI. Oh, this is not the TWSBI. Pardon me. Let's do the TWSBI. All right. So some other pens. This is the TWSBI Eco, which is an absolutely brilliant pen for $35. This is the basic version. This is the straight up demonstrator. This is a fine nib, and I mean a fine nib. A great writer, beautiful pen, takes on the color of whatever ink you put in it. And this is Diamine Oxblood, fantastic ink. So if somebody gave me one of these now, and I have 3 of them, I would be delighted. They're that good. Love them. So, the Lamy Vista. I love this pen. I bought this in New York City. It's got the calligraphy nib. I believe this also has Oxblood in it. I'm not very creative with my ink choices sometimes, But absolutely fun pen. Just making it transparent really elevates the Safari shape. I prefer this over any of my Safaris. Love this pen. Fantastic gift. I've seen these for anywhere from $17 up. I spent $35 for this. It was entirely too much, but it came with memories. And I think memories you can't put a price on. So I'm very pleased to have it. But great gift. Now, this is probably the most expensive item on the list, and that is a TWSBI VAC 700. You can get this in transparent. This one is iris. These pens are fantastic gifts. They're around $70. You get a lot of pen for $70. You get a VAC fill system for someone who might be curious about it. You get a beautiful pen with a beautiful nib. You just have so many options with this pen. It's a great size. It has nice balance. It doesn't really post, but I don't like to post pens that much anymore. But look at that. The size is perfect. So this is a brilliant gift, I think. A TWSBI VAC 700. Just amazing. So here's something else I think would be really great. It's sort of fountain pen adjacent. I love this. This is a Ramsey pen cut. So it's in the shape of a pen, and it's a scissor. So you push this down and it turns into a scissor. And it's actually a fantastic scissor. I've already given these as gifts. I gave one to my daughter. She uses it for her crafting, and for my wife. And she uses it quite a bit. And I like to take this around with me because it's just so good. And it's the same size as a pen. How much does this cost? It's around $13 from Jet Pens is where I got this, because it's a Japanese company. Just love it. Okay. So my last suggestion for your fountain pen aficionado is some kind of stationery. And this is going to look very familiar to the Illuminati and Cognoscenti members of this channel, because I'm sure you have received letters from me on this. This is a smaller size. This is a bigger size. All the Florentine paper. This one is Okakamori, a Japanese set I just got from the general store in Boston, because Wolf Cape Witch said to go there. So this is a Japanese stationery set with like really amazing different colored envelopes and kind of like an onion skin style paper. So very nice, very fun to write letters to folks with. So very, very lovely. So these are just some last minute and late additions maybe to your shopping list. Just great stocking stuffers or something to put under the tree for someone who loves fountain pens as much as you do. So just a suggestion. So I hope you guys dug that. I hope that's helpful. I could have gone on and on, but I wanted to keep it under $100. I wanted to keep it kind of a mix of sort of the predictable and the things we know, like the Kakuno and the Platinum, and then also put in some more eclectic stuff, some stuff that's out of the ordinary. So I think that's a nice selection. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the end of a long road, but I had a blast. I hope you had a nice time too. I appreciate you all being here. It was a fantastic show. This week we have a review of the Jinhao 9019. So you'll see me then, and you'll see me again next week. So take care of yourself. I'll see you all soon. Thank you very much. See you further up the road. Take care.